Let me fix my crown, baby. Like dominoes, yeah, it's going down. My feet off the ground, elevated. You feel my soul when you hear my sound. And I don't know why you like a red light that don't ever change. And you should know why I'm merging to the other lane. I'm getting close. I'm up next. No regrets. Making hits is a reflex. I'm getting close. Don't take a second to second guess. Vibe high so you know I'm blessed. Oh yeah. I'm getting close. I'm up next. No regrets. Making hits is a reflex. I'm getting close. Don't take a second to second guess. Vibe high so you know I'm blessed. You know I'm blessed. Good morning in the States. I'm over in the Middle East still, over in Bahrain, and it's 6:43 p.m. on Sunday, April 28th, 2019. Lets you know that time is irrelevant. Time is something that we've made up as human beings to measure ourselves up against, but it really doesn't exist. It is an illusion. And therefore, the thing that we do to ourselves about age is absolutely ridiculous. There is no reason that age should define your success and your ability. Nope. Doesn't have anything to do with anything. I know you guys have met some children in your life that are geniuses or born geniuses, and it just, the real thing about it is they just remember who they are. In that capacity, that's something that they chose not to forget when they came into this life, this time. And then I know someone in your life that's much, much older, or you consider old, and they're still out here getting it and making it happen like they're 17 years old. Like Tina Turner. She's a great example of that. So at any rate, I wanted to come on here, and every day I'm trying to think of a message to give, and I'm trying to be in the spirit so that I can receive the message, and I'm trying to meditate so that I can give a message. And sometimes the messages that I get, they're not exactly for everybody, they're just for me. Or sometimes I get messages for other people randomly. For instance, I had a random dream about Rick James, like out of nowhere. And for those of you that doesn't, everybody knows Rick James, but for those of you that doesn't know Rick James or think you don't know Rick James, when I came home last night, you wouldn't make love to me. That one you may know from Give It To Me, Baby, Give It To Me, Baby. Give it to me, baby. You might know him from that. Or you might know him from Dave Chappelle. Rick James, bitch. You might know him from that. Or you might know him from I'm in love with Mary Jane. She's my main thing. She makes me feel alright. And make my heart sing. And when I'm feeling low, hit right on time. I don't know all the words. Mary Jane. Yeah, about that Mary Jane. That Mary Jane. I'll make you sing a song about her. Anyway. Randomly had a dream about him, and in the dream it was very vivid, and it was right, when you're waking up and you're what is that, REM sleep, when you're going from coming out of your sleep to almost awake, and it's right there in the middle. And then for me, a lot of times that's when I really hear from the spirit. That's when I really am tuned in, because I'm not all the way aware of this dimension and this world. So I get to hear, and it's authentic and it's pure, because I haven't came to full consciousness to where I'm judging what I'm hearing and what I'm feeling. So at that moment, a lot of times that's when I receive messages. So right around that time, is when I received a message from Rick James, and he actually had a message for Eddie Murphy. So I've been thinking about it all day, and I'm like, I don't know Eddie Murphy, and Eddie Murphy don't know me bigger than that. Bigger than me not knowing Eddie Murphy don't know me. I mean, I know him, I know his work, I know his, I grew up watching him on Saturday Night Live, and then his movies and his his classic stand-up comedy show, Raw, and then The Boomerang, and my favorite movie in the whole world, Coming to America. So I know his work, and I know him in that way, but I don't know him personally. Never met him personally. So I'm scared to just randomly give him a message, but Rick James had a message for him, so I want to get a message to him. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is. And I don't know. I don't know if he has an Instagram, but like, should I slide into his DM and just give him this random message from this crazy girl that he doesn't know that Rick James gave me to give him? Like, it's crazy. But I've been talking to Rick James all day because of it, and just trying to get a very clear message, because I don't remember everything that was said in the dream. I just remember, like, Rick James told me that Eddie Murphy had a nickname for him. Eddie Murphy had a nickname that he called Rick James. So he's told me to make sure I say that, so that he'll know that it's authentic. And but I didn't remember everything that he was saying in the dream, so I just kind of been talking to Rick all day, like, okay, so what is it that you want me to say? And he's been on me, and he's been singing the song, give it to me, baby, give it to me, baby, give it to me, baby. He's been singing that to me all day until I took and wrote down what he had to say. So I wrote it down, and somehow I'll get it to Eddie Murphy. Wish me luck. But anyway, what I wanted to come, which brings me to this whole message that I wanted to come on here and say. And that is, pay attention to everything. I have been thinking about developing these spiritual gifts and sharing these spiritual gifts. And one might ask, how do you do it? How do you tune in? How do you know that you're really doing this? Well, I mean, first of all, it's a step-by-step process for me. And what I've been doing is using other people to confirm what I hear. So, and it started years ago when I was, the first thing I was saying was, I hear from God, and my friends used to tease me. They'd be like, man, the way you say you talk to God, y'all be at lunch like, you gonna pay for this, Jesus, or I'm gonna pay? Well, you got me. And so what I started out doing was listening to, I would wake up in the middle of the night, like 2 a.m, and I would literally go in my prayer closet, and I would listen. I would pray, and then I would listen, and I would get all these messages, and again, to me, straight from God. And I would say these things, and then my friends would confirm them for me, like, oh yeah, that's in the Bible, that's in Genesis, blah 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 blah, or oh yeah, that's, yeah, pretty much from the Bible, or oh yeah, that's the message that God has always said. Or I may turn on the TV, and Joel Osteen might be on the TV giving the same message that I just received. Or and it doesn't always have to be from a Christian standpoint or a religious standpoint, but I would always get people coming to me, and a lot of times, because God has a sense of humor, but he would send people to me in threes. So 3 people would say the same thing to me that I may have heard God say the night before or early that morning before. And so one of the most memorable things I remember is that in 2010, early in the morning, God woke me up one day and was saying, you need to remember who you are. You need to pull back the layers and get to know yourself again. And you're always wondering about who I am and what I am. And he said you need to he said you need to remember who you are to me. You need to know why you're my queen. You need to understand why I allowed your mom to name you princess. You need to pull back the layers and get to know yourself. And when you know yourself, you'll find me. And that was in 2010. It took me to 2016. I mean, at the time, I thought I understood that. But, of course, there were some things I'm like, wow, God is saying I need to figure out who I am to him. Like, at the time when I was calling God a he. But, God was saying that I need to figure out who I am to him. Like, wow, that's amazing. And so, so I understood parts of it, but that the biggest part I didn't understand. And so it took me to about 2016 when I say that my third eye popped open and I, totally became awake. That's when I was like, that's when I realized, that literally God is inside of you, and God is, inside of you praising you. God is inside of you cheering you on. God is inside of you going, go, 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 do it, do it, do it. It is very important for God, for you to create. Your very life depends on it. If you don't create moment to moment your life, then you don't exist. When you stop creating, that's when you die. When you stop creating a life for yourself, that's when you die. Because see, we were born with that free will. It's that God-given free will, and God gave us all the power and all the tools. Everything that God has is inside of us, because God is inside of us and gave it to us so that we can use it and paint the most beautiful pictures. We have a big, wide open canvas, and we have all the paint in the world, and we have all the paint brushes in the world, and we have carte blanche to do whatever we want. We have free will to do whatever we want with our picture. And so God is dependent on us so that God can have a life experience. Otherwise than that, God exists in the perfect absolute with no experiences of life. And because we decided to come forth and have life, God is so happy about that. God is so appreciative of that. God loves us beyond life, beyond time and space. So, which brings me back to pay attention to everything. Every time you get a chill in your body, and you think, oh, that didn't mean nothing. I just got a chill. And not because you're cold, just all of a sudden you just, pay attention to that energy, the dreams you have. Pay attention to the dreams you have. The times when you're thinking about somebody and they reach out to you, or you reach out to somebody and they were just thinking about you. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to everything. And that's what I started doing. I stopped taking things for granted. I stopped saying, oh, that just happens. And I only believe it just happens and it doesn't mean anything because that's the lessons that has been passed down. And it's only because they didn't know any better. They mean well, but they were taught, our parents and our grandparents and our ancestors were taught to love outside of yourself, think outside of yourself, believe outside of yourself, worship outside of yourself. If God is inside of you, then why is it so important to worship outside of yourself? I mean, that's just a question that you have to ask. Why is it so important to go outside of yourself for truth, for love, for respect, for honor? Why is it so important to go outside of yourself to learn lessons? Why? When everything is inside of you that God has placed inside of you, and if God is the greatest and omnipotent and everything, then why are we not tuning into thyself? Why are we not connecting to thyself, which is where God lies? So anyway, in order to develop spiritual gifts and to figure out what's going on in the energy realm and in the energy sphere and in the fourth dimension and in the other dimensions, you have to pay attention to everything. Everything. Put stock in everything. Everything that happens to you. Everything that you feel. Every time you get an intuitive thought, an inspirational thought, pay attention to it. So that is the message for today. I do want to say that upon this journey, the spiritual journey and the spiritual awakening and self-proclaiming to be an empath and a medium, I have to think of every day, like, what am I going to say? I promised that I was going to put videos on here. I promised that I was going to put messages on here. I promised that I was going to start going live and doing readings for people. So what am I going to do? So what I decided to do is share with you guys that since I did the first video on YouTube and Instagram, I have gotten, I think it's up to 5 requests for readings. I've done 2 readings so far, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 2 or 3 of the 5 requests that I've received for readings have been from family members. So I did a reading for my cousin and I did a reading for my niece. But my hairdresser out here in Bahrain, she wants me to contact some family members of hers that has passed away. A friend of mine that lives in San Diego wants me to contact her, some family members of hers that have passed away. Someone didn't even ask me, but they reached out to me, so I just got this feeling that maybe they wanted to ask me.
Henry
That's my
Cook,
phone
or
ringing.
3 other.
Okay. I have to pause this video. Give me 1 second. Actually, no, I'm not going to pause it. Hello? Hey. Yep. Okay. Okay, bye. Okay, so I gotta go unlock the door. Do I take you guys with me? Yeah, let me take you with me. Take you with me, take you with me, take you with me. Okay. Okay. Take the chain off the door. Take the chain off the door. Okay. Where was I at? I forgot. Readings. Someone from San Diego asked me to contact some parents, and then there was someone that didn't really ask me, but I had this feeling that they wanted to ask me, but they didn't want to ask me, so they just kind of reached out to me. So as soon as they reached out to me, I wound up tuning into that person's parents that passed away, and they came to me, or either I came to them, and they gave me a message, and I passed that message on. So technically, I've done 3 readings. So, I probably have about 2 more readings to go, and several more people to contact, if that makes sense, because they're not just asking like, can you contact one person? They're like, can you contact this person, that person? So, one person gave me like 3 people to contact. Stop being greedy. But anyway, what I would like to do is start sharing those readings with you all with the permission of my friends and family members, and that's what I can do. I can come on here and share, and we're not in the same country right now, so what I'll do is put them on speakerphone, and we'll have the conversation in front of you all. And I've already done readings, so what I've been doing was writing them down, because it's so funny, because when my niece asked me to contact a few people, that day I said, okay, I'll do it. And that day I kept on saying, you take a bath first, take a bath. I'm like, I got to get clean to talk to the spirit. But sometimes, those are requirements. Sometimes that's what you hear, that's what you're inspired to do. So I jumped in the bath, and when I jumped in the bathtub, like all of them came, all of the people that she asked me to contact except one came at the same time, and then someone else came with them, a celebrity came with them, and I'm like, what are you doing ushering people in? They were like, she said usher. But anyway, so they were, kind of excited to help me out. A celebrity that I had been talking to was excited about helping me bring the other people that I had been trying to contact, or, connect with those other people. So they all came at the same time, and I don't know what it was about the water, but something about the water and connecting with the spirits. So it was a great experience, and I was able to get a message. So because a lot of them came at the same time, they were all talking. Now, it's not bombarding me, but it's like a group of people having a conversation, and they're funny, they're laughing, they're joking, but some of them are very passionate about what it is they want to say and convey. So what I did was just start writing it down. So I have my little notebook. Actually, it's my Whitney Houston notebook that I was only supposed to be writing songs in. But you know what? It's all relative. It's all relative. So I have messages that I have written down from the different people that I've done readings for, or I've contacted in the spirit. So I've read these things to my cousin and my niece already, but I want to get them on the phone and have them, go over what I talked to them about, and share with everyone, with their permission, share with everyone the confirmation. So each of them gave me a confirmation to let me know that I was right. So, or that I connected, like I was doing this thing. My cousin, read a letter from the person that she wanted to contact. After I wrote down and read to her the message that I received from the person she wanted to contact, she read a letter to me from that person that was pretty much the same thing that I had said, same thing, the same message that I had received. So, yeah, that was my confirmation. And so, oh, you know what? Wait a minute. I've done more than, well, no. We're talking about since I put the videos up. Okay, never mind. But yeah, so, yeah, so she, so that was my confirmation, so, and then my niece, she was able to give me a confirmation by letting me know that this person passed away the way they said they passed away. So again, it's very important to me to get the help from you guys, to get these confirmations from you guys. It's very important to me because that lets me know that I'm growing spiritually and I'm able to really do this. And the more you guys are, participating and helping me out and chiming in and confirming, what I have to tell you, the better it is for me. So I appreciate you and thank you for your help. This was my message today and just wanted to tune in to you guys. I will talk to you soon. Have a good day. Mwah.